I came home from the hospital with my body still aching, my legs shaking under me with every step, the fresh incision from surgery burning against my skin. I had spent 12 endless days there, battling a vicious infection that almost ended me, staring at those sterile white walls in total isolation. No visitors, no calls, nothing. My son David, my only boy, never came. His wife Karen didn't even text once. When the doctor handed me my discharge papers on October 12, 2023, I had to beg a nurse to call me an Uber because there was no one to pick me up. No one. If you've ever felt that gut-wrenching betrayal from the people you love most, or if my story hits close to home, subscribe to the channel. You're not alone. And there are more stories like this one waiting for you. I stepped through the front door of my little bungalow on Elmwood Drive in suburban Ohio, clutching my plastic bag of hospital-issued toiletries and a crumpled gown, my heart foolishly clinging to the dream of a warm welcome. Maybe a note on the counter, a pot of soup simmering, some sign they'd worried about me. Instead, silence slapped me first, thick and cold. Then the shock landed like a punch. In the kitchen, squeezed right up against my reliable old Frigidaire from the 90s, the one that had hummed loyally through decades of family meals, stood a brand new stainless steel behemoth. Sleek, double door, top of the line, the kind you'd see in a showroom, it gleamed under the fluorescent light, mocking my exhaustion. I froze in the doorway, my stitches pulling tight as I tried to process it. What in the world? David sauntered out from the den, a cold soda in his fist, like it was just another Tuesday. Karen trailed behind him, armed with a roll of masking tape and a thick black Sharpie. They barely glanced my way. What's that? I managed, my voice a rasp, pointing at the intruder. David cracked open his drink with a hiss. Our fridge, Mom, for our stuff. He said it casual, like he was discussing the weather. Our fridge? The words tasted wrong in my mouth. I leaned against the doorframe for support, my knees threatening to buckle. Karen dropped to her knees in front of the new appliance, ripping off strips of tape and scrawling her name in bold, looping letters. Karen on the top shelf, Karen on the crisper drawers, Karen crammed into every nook and butter bin. Exactly, she said, not even looking up. This is for the groceries we pay for ourselves. We don't want them mixed up with yours. The floor tilted under me. My incision throbbed with each shallow breath, a reminder I'd just clawed my way back from the edge of death. And now this. In my house, they were carving out territory like I was some squatter. But this is my home, I whispered, the words barely audible. David chuckled, low and dry. Sure it is, Mom, your house. But we live here too, right? And let's be real, your social security check? It's peanuts. You can't stock what we need. He swigged his soda, eyes flicking to the TV in the next room. Karen stood, capping the marker with a snap, surveying her handiwork like an artist. Every label screamed possession, a fresh wound. Don't get upset, Vivian. It's practical. You shop with your money. We shop with ours. No arguments, no drama. My voice cracked. I'd never once locked up my food or made them feel less than welcome. I've shared everything with you, always. We know, David said, crushing the empty can in his fist. But this is fairer. Cleaner lines. Fair. That word hung in the air, twisting like a knife. I glanced at my old fridge. Sparse shelves with wilted lettuce, a half-gallon of milk nearing its date, generic bread. Then theirs, bursting with ribeyes wrapped in butcher paper, artisanal cheeses from some fancy market, bottles of Cabernet that probably cost more than my weekly grocery budget. See? Karen swung open their fridge door, the light spilling out like a taunt. We have standards. We can't eat that processed junk you get. No hard feelings. Standards. As if her words weren't laced with venom. David clapped a hand on my shoulder, condescending like I was a child throwing a fit. Chill, Mom, it's not about you. You're getting older. Your checks barely cover the lights. We deserve better than scraping by. Deserve. It sliced deeper than the scalpel had. I wanted to scream about the 38 years I'd slaved at the auto parts factory, fingers calloused from assembly lines, back wrecked from overtime shifts to fund his dreams. I wanted to remind them how I'd cashed in my IRA, $15,000, to cover his community college tuition after his dad died. But exhaustion pinned my tongue. My body betrayed me, weak from the fight I'd just won in that hospital bed. I need to lie down, I murmured, shuffling toward the back room with my bag. Get some rest, Mom, David called, already heading for the couch. Karen shut their fridge with a triumphant thunk that echoed through my bones. That sound followed me down the narrow hall, each step a jolt of pain. The back room, once my cozy office for paying bills and reading paperbacks, had become my prison cell 6 months ago. Twin beds shoved against the wall, a rickety dresser, barely room to turn around. They'd claimed the master suite temporarily when they moved in during the layoffs last year. Temporary stretched into forever, inching into every corner of the wing 200-square-foot house I'd owned free and clear since my husband, Frank, passed in 2012. I collapsed onto the thin mattress, and the dam broke. Tears soaked the pillow, hot and relentless. From the living room their voices drifted, laughing at some sitcom. The fridge door whooshing open and shut, clinks of glasses toasting. What, their clever division of my world? I curled up, stitches screaming, but the real ache was in my chest. How had my son, the boy I'd rocked through colic, cheered at Little League, become this? Sleep wouldn't come. Their words replayed, your checks are peanuts. We deserve better, fairer, cleaner. It confirmed the ugly truth I'd buried. To them, I wasn't family anymore. I was a landlord they tolerated, a piggy bank running dry. And I'd let it happen bite by bite, out of love twisted into fear. But in that dim room, staring at water stains on the ceiling, something cracked open inside me. Rage, maybe. Clarity. They'd miscalculated. They thought the hospital had broken me for good. Left me too frail to push back. Wrong. By morning, they'd see the woman Frank married. The one who'd fought off bill collectors after his heart attack, kept the roof over our heads through recessions. And that reckoning, it would cost them dear. I lay there till 4 a.m., mind racing. Those labels, Karen, 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 burned behind my eyelids, branding their greed. Laughter seeped through the walls as they binged shows, popping corks from their standards fridge. 69 years old, a lifetime of bending over backward, and this was my prize. Exile in my own home. Tears dried into fury. I flashed back to David's birth in 1975. I was 24, working my first factory job, Frank pulling double shifts at the mill. Our miracle after 2 miscarriages. I'd sewn his clothes by hand, packed lunches with love notes. When Frank died at 52, dropping dead on a job site, David was 27, freshly married to Karen. I'll always look out for you, Mom, he'd sworn at the funeral, arm around me. Lies, all of it. Karen blew in like a storm 8 years back. Sharp-featured, always in designer knockoffs, selling real estate part-time, but acting like a mogul. Her eyes appraised me from day one. What can we squeeze? David dismissed my warnings. You're just protective. They wed in a $12,000 bash I partly funded from savings. Money from factory bonuses. We'll repay you soon, he promised. Never a dime. Then the asks piled up. $2,500 for a car down payment. $4,000 for unexpected medicals. $6,200 was for Karen's business startup. Guilt tripped every time. You want us on the street, Mom? I forked over, draining my nest egg. Retirement hit 2 years ago. I $20 monthly Social Security, arthritis gnawing my joints. The house at 147 Elmwood was my anchor, valued at $285,000 in today's market. Pandemic layoffs brought them crawling back. Just till we rebound. Mom, 3 months tops. Year 2 now, and the shift was total. They seized the master bath. Yours is too cramped. Remote-controlled the thermostat. We run hot. Remodeled the den with my utility money. It'll increase value for all of us. Kitchen conquest came gradual. Karen tossed my Tupperware, Outdated. Vivian. Stock cabinets with organics I couldn't pronounce. Bills? Tight month. Cover us? My statements showed $2,100 loans last quarter alone. 3 months prior, I noticed my emergency fund, $9,500 in a joint account Frank set up, vanished. Borrowed for rent, David shrugged. I'll replace it. Invoice number 3921 from First National Bank, dated 7/15/2023, confirmed the withdrawal, $9,500 to his account. I'd swallowed it as always, but returning to those labeled shelves, the final straw. They celebrated while I recovered a loan, no more. The next morning, October 13th, dawn crept in at 5:15 a.m. House dead quiet. David and Karen snoring in my old king bed under quilts I'd quilted. I rose gingerly, incision tender, and ghosted to the kitchen. Their fridge mocked me, stocked, grass-fed steaks at 28-pound truffle oils, prosciutto. Mine, yogurt pastate, ramen packs. My pension fed their feast. I brewed weak coffee, sat at the scarred oak table Frank built. Options swirled. Evict them, house in my name. But David had me co-sign estate papers last spring. What if it was a quit claim? Leave. Rent ate my check alive. Confront? They'd gaslight. You're paranoid, Mom. Upstairs creak, Karen's voice shrill. You used my serum again? David mumbled apology. No house, Mom. No care. By 8:45, their SUV crunched gravel, off to job hunt. I waited 10 minutes, then emerged. Chaos reigned. Pizza boxes, laundry heaps, salmon remnants, buzzing flies. I scrubbed, habit more than heart, glancing out at neighbor Clara Voss, 73, widow like me, tending her azaleas. She waved. I managed a feeble one back. Clara set down her hose, crossed the lawn, knocked. Vivian? Saw your Uber yesterday. You okay? Her eyes, kind behind bifocals, pierced my facade. Fine, I lied, throat tight. She scanned the kitchen, spotting the fridges. That's new. They're groceries, I muttered, shame flooding. Clara frowned at the labels. Viv, I've been hearing things. Walls are thin. The way they talk to you, burden, dead weight. Last night after you went to bed. She gripped my arm. I heard them toasting. Karen said, she won't last long now. House sells for $285K easy. Our ticket out. David laughed. About time. Sick of faking it. World blurred. Not surprise. Confirmation. More? I whispered. Packages. Weekly big ones. Luxury brands. David at the title office last month. Papers in hand. Something's off. My pulse hammered. What do I do? Investigate. I know a retired investigator, Tom Riley, ex-cop, does pro bono for elder cases. I'll call. She did, right there. Tom agreed. 2 p.m. today. Clara hugged me goodbye. You're not alone, Viv. First real touch in years. Till 2, I played sleuth. Master bedroom reeked of Karen's vanilla lotion. Unmade bed, suitcases half-packed? No, overflowing with labels, Gucci, Prada knockoffs. Receipts tumbled. One is $200 spa day, 8/3/2023, $750 casino loss, 9/22/2023. Drawer dive, credit statements. One in my name, Vivian Tate, Chase Sapphire, limit $12,000, balance 11/6/20. Charges, flights to Vegas, jewelry, never mind. Fraud, deeper, mortgage refi app, $60,000 against 147 Elmwood. My signature forged, pending, filed 10/5/2023. They planned to strip me bare. I bundled papers under my mattress, heart thundering. Kitchen tin held my records. Statements showing $48,700 unauthorized over the last 24 months, including $22,400 last year alone. ATM pulls at odd hours. Transfers to D&K Ventures. Tom arrived prompt, wiry 68, notebook ready. Clara briefed me. Show me. Papers spread, he whistled. Felonies stacked. ID theft, forgery, elder financial abuse. Ohio statute 2913-02. Up to 18 months prison. Options: confront, risky; civil suit, slow recovery; criminal, jail time. Start bank tomorrow. Freeze accounts, dispute charges. I'll tail the errands for proof. By 4 p.m., plan locked. Tom snapped photos. Fridges, luxury halls. Lifestyle mismatch screams fraud. They returned 615 bags from Nordstrom rustling. Laughter died at my stance in the hall. Mom, what's with the glare? We talk now. Voice steady, surprise. Karen snorted. Exhausted. Tomorrow. No, bank trip. Tomorrow. My accounts? Funny charges. David's eyes darted. Bills, meds. I handle it. Large ones. Transfers. We go together. Karen smirked, cracking their fridge. Vivian, you're clueless with numbers. David's got it. Clueless. Code for senile. I go in person. Firm. David shared a look. Interview tomorrow? Can't. Liar, I thought. Day after, Karen poured Merlot, 2 glasses, none for me. Such a drag. Check app. David set it up. He controlled logins. In person. You're ungrateful, David snapped, sipping. After we stuck here caring for you? Caring. You stole my room, my peace. Silence crackled. Karen slammed glass. Your care? Whiny look since hospital. We sacrifice in this dump. I gave everything, tears pricking. You gave scraps, Karen spat. David clawed up from your poverty trap. We're owed, David weak. Enough. But nodded. You're a leech, Vivian, Karen hissed. Tolerating you. Hell, leave then. Our house too, David growled. Dad meant family. They stormed upstairs. I texted Clara. Bank AM. Tom too? Yes, 7:30 pickup. Night blurred. Their TV blare, my resolve hardening. Frank's photo on nightstand. I'll fix this. 5:45 a.m. rise, dressed sharp. Blouse from Frank's funeral. Pain lingered, but adrenaline and painkillers pushed me forward. Coffee brewed. David down at 7:20, tousled. Out early? Doctor follow-up. Clara driving. Cool. Phone trance. Clara's sedan purred at 7:30. Tom shotgun. Plan. Manager meet. Fraud report. Freeze all. Copies of 2-year trans. Bank. First National. Glass facade. Opened 8. Tom commanded. Fraud urgent. Miss Vivian Tate. Manager Lena Ortiz. 45. Sharp-suited. Ushered private room. Tom's pitch crisp. I detailed thefts. Lena's notes flew. Docs dropped. Statements card in my name. Act the 478239 thing. Open 3/18/2023. Lena's screen audit. Irregulars galore. $48,700 unauthorized last 24 months. Withdrawals at Vegas ATMs. Transfers to unknowns. $48,700. Dizzying home loan. Forged SIG blocked now. Bank pursues criminals. Form signed, accounts locked, David off, credit frozen. You're not liable. Disputes filed. Left at 11:30, folder thick. Confront tonight? Tom asked. Yes, strength now. Home by noon. House empty. Tom photoed evidence. Fridges, undeniable divide. Closets, $3,400 shoes. Receipts. Proves extravagance on stolen funds. Prep scripts, tea from Clara. 6 p.m. SUV rumbles. They burst in, bags swinging. Bloomingdale's. Froze at Tom, Clara, me blocking foyer. What the? David, sit. Command voice. Who's he? Karen jabbed Tom. Tom Riley, investigator for me. David's face ashen. Mom, what'd you do? Found truth. All of it. Denial barrage. Tom laid docs. Chase card, PAF Polismus itu, 11,620 fraud. Loan app forged 10-5, $48,700 siphoned. You signed. Karen shrieked. Tricked. Papers shoved. Sign for taxes. Clara. I heard she'll croak soon. House hours. David. Fake it till then. Karen lunged. Lying hag. Truth. Clara calmed out Tom. $46,700 police interest $52,000. Repay, vacate, no charges. Or prison, 5 to 20 years. Karen sobbed theatrics. We sacrificed. This shack for you. Stole my home, I countered. David, Mom, fixable, family. Family doesn't plunder. Karen rage. Bitter crone. You'll rot alone. Prefer alone to thieves. Eviction notice. Out in 3 hours. Personal items only. Screams upstairs. Packing frenzy. 2 hours. Suitcases thump. Karen empties her fridge. Labels stay. Arrogance relics. Final load. David pauses door. Regret this, Mom. Die lonely. I regret raising a thief. Car peels out 9:15 p.m. Legs buckled. Clara caught me. Sobs racked, not loss, release. Tom. Evidence ironclad. Banksus too. Clara stayed, cooked mac and cheese, comfort food. Slept in master, changed sheets, aired room. Peace finally. Noon next, David's call. Option 1. Alone. Karen bolted. Tom drafted. $52K repayment, 400 month start. Signed, Shaky. Sorry, Mom. Actions, not words. He left. Karen vanished. Warrant out, months blurred to transformation. First payment pinged 11 per 1, $400 steady. House mine, sold intruder fridge, 900. Bought perennials, tulips nodding by spring. Clara? Sister now. Weekly walks, book swaps. Your laugh's back, she said. Bank refunded $21,300 post-probe. Fixed HVAC, $4,200. New roof, $8,000. Will airtight. Clara executor. Tom checked in. Case strong. Karen arrested Florida. Fraud charges. One evening, 6 months post. Garden tilling. Sedan pulls. Woman, 32, toddler girl clutching doll. Vivian Tate? I'm Rebecca, David's fiancée. Shock. He confessed all. Therapy, 2 jobs, warehouse, ride share. Pays double now. This is Lily. Your granddaughter, Lily beamed. Gamma? Heart melted. Yes, sweetie, Rebecca. No pressure, just... He's trying. They left. I wept to Clara. Door ajar? Crack open. Time tells. David's letter arrived July 2024. Raw regret, no excuses. Trying to honor Dad's lessons. Love you, always did, actions failed, kept it. Replied, Lily visit, coffee. Honest talk, met park, awkward but real. Lily's giggles bridged chasm. Not full mend, trust fractured, but start. Clara's barbecue fall, neighbors, laughter filling yard. No more isolation. That fridge thud echoes still, but now full circle. My old one hums solo, stocked with joys. Berry pie sundaes, cheeses I crave. No labels but loves I reclaimed home, not bricks, but self. Enough had been my anchor, my salvation. If this stirred you, comment your story below. We heal sharing. And if second chances resonate, subscribe. More tales await.